Bass Talk, episode 4, kayak fishing. Let's get at it. Okay guys, so today, well first off, let me say this. It's been a long time since we did a Bass Talk episode. It's been too long since we did a Bass Talk episode, way too long. My plan was to do one once a month, get you guys involved, talk about things you want to talk about, air some of your pictures, air some of your videos, and maybe even do some Bass Talk episodes with some other YouTube anglers. I really want to do that. But just kind of got busy, it got put on the back burner, I kind of forgot that I was doing this series and I don't want to do that, so we're going to get back at it. So, without further ado, let's talk about kayak fishing. That's going to be today's topic on this episode. So, I'm just going to cover a couple of things about it. Kind of want to give some insight to those of you who haven't kayak fished before and maybe you're thinking about it. Kayak fishing is awesome. One of the biggest reasons I tell people to get into it and give it a shot is because a kayak, this goes for canoes, like small paddle boards, things like that as well, is you can get access to waters that a lot of people can't get to, especially boats. You know, a lot of boats can run pretty shallow, but most of them are going to draft anywhere from more than likely 8 to 12 inches of water when the boat's actually in the water. And a kayak only drafts, you know, depending on your weight and the gear you have with it, a couple inches. So you're able to get back in places that a lot of boats cannot get to, and a lot of places that may not be accessible by bank. So you may have picked a place apart on the bank and gone to your reaches. Maybe you've casted as far as you can all around this lake or all around this pond. And the next venture out is going to be getting a kayak to get to the deeper water and spots where other bank fishermen can't cast to. So that's one of the biggest things about kayak fishing, small paddleboards, canoes, is accessing points that other people haven't got to. So that is a great thing about kayak fishing. Another great thing about kayak fishing is boats are great. I actually have a boat myself, and unfortunately I don't use it as much as I should, and I hate that. But you know, one of the things with a boat too, running it, is gas. Of course, you're going to spend gas to drive to destinations with your vehicle and whatnot, but with a kayak or a paddle boat, that's manpower, baby. That's guns. You know what I'm saying? That was dumb. But a kayak or a canoe or something like that, the good thing about it too is it's exercise. You don't have to pay for gas. So you pay for gas to take your vehicle and your kayak wherever you got to go, but once you're on the water, it's all you. It's all human power, manpower, woman power. So that's a cool thing about it, is it lets you, you know, explore without the expense of paying for gas and other things that a boat needs to maintain it. So just a couple quick basics, at least for kayaks. I'm not really going to get into canoes or anything. You have, most common are going to be a sit on top and a sit in. All the kayaks you've seen me in and on my channel have been a sit on top. So basically you're literally sitting on top of the kayak versus a sit in kayak, which typically you'll see it has a large, usually like an oval shaped circle, and you actually sit down inside of it. Your legs go underneath the bow of the boat, and you can put tackle and stuff underneath there. Those are neat boats. You know, everybody kind of has their different preferences. The thing with a sit-in kayak though is if you take on water, the water's gonna be stuck inside with you. So if you're going BTB, beyond the breakers, or if you're getting some high winds and you start taking on some waves on a lake or something, if you get water inside the kayak, it's gonna stay in there until you're able to drain it out. Versus a sit-on-top kayak that has scupper holes, so if water comes in the kayak, it will just drain back into whatever body of water you're on. I prefer to sit on top kayak. I like the space, I like the openness, I like to be able to stand. I like the quick on and off of the kayak. I like the seats a lot better. I sit on top kayak. Sit-in kayaks, I don't have a lot of experience with them, but typically you're not going to get as comfortable of seat as a sit on top, because a lot of sit on top kayaks nowadays, they have captain's chairs or stadium style chairs that are adjustable and really comfortable. So I prefer those for sure. But it comes down to your preference. And one of the things about kayak fishing is you're gonna have to try some. Find a friend, a family member, somebody who may have one who will let you try theirs out and test theirs. That's a good way to see if you're going to be comfortable in one, because depending on your balance, they're not the most stable thing out there. You know, I'm very comfortable on mine. You'll see me standing in the one that I currently have, my Pelican, a lot, but I'm very comfortable and confident standing in that. But there's some kayaks you can't do that. You cannot stand, and you may not have as much confidence. So the best thing is to try some out. A great thing is Fishing Tackle Unlimited. You can actually rent kayaks. So of course they carry a limited number of brands and manufacturers there. But if one of the ones there happens to be on your list or one you're interested in, you can rent it. Or if you come out to one of their demo days, you can try it out for free. So if there's one you're interested in, they happen to have it, they're going to bring it out, try it out before you buy it. That can be a huge plus before you're going to invest, a lot of money in an expensive kayak without having tried it yet. So that's a good thing. Of course, one thing I want to mention too with kayak fishing is you always want to be safe. Always make sure you have a life vest. I recommend a paddle leash in case your paddle goes overboard. You want to make sure it stays connected to the boat. Make sure you have a whistle. I carry an air horn as well. It's always good to have a buddy. You don't always have that situation. I don't always have a buddy to fish with, so make sure you let at least one, if not two or more people know where you're going to be. Be smart, have good situational awareness. Don't do anything stupid while you're out on your kayak. If you're going to go out in open water, don't take your life vest off. If you're going to stand, be confident if you're going to stand. If you're going to try standing for the first time, make sure you're near land, you're not near any structure in the water or somewhere where there might be aggressive predators in the water, hence gators, things like that. Just be smart about it, as you get into it and practice. Well, I've had, oh my gosh, in the last, I'd say the last probably 7 or 8 years, I've had probably 5 or 6 kayaks. I can't remember. I started off with a real entry-level basic one, and that was good, but I got bored of that pretty quick, so I stepped up to a more expensive one. Had that for a little bit. Out of impulse, over the next few years, I kind of sold and bought some. I would go out and I'd have a blast, and then it would sit. I'd be like, okay, I need to just sell it and make some money because I'm not using it. And then a beautiful day would happen, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had a kayak. I should have just kept it after I bought it. So now I'm back to that point where I'm just going to keep one no matter what. If I get to the point where I feel like I'm going to sell one, I better have 2 because I'm not getting rid of just one. So if I ever came across a situation where I had 2, I might sell one, but I'm always going to keep one from this point out because you just never know when you're going to get that itch and be like, you know what? I saw a bayou today. I drove over a bayou or a little creek. And I bet you if I put the kayak in there and paddle back up and wherever, there's going to be some fish back there. And I can't tell you how many times, places still on my list, I've seen places like that. And some places I've explored with the kayak that have just been awesome that I couldn't have got to on foot. So that's a huge plus too, is like I was saying earlier, is just being able to explore. So at the end of the day, the fish aren't going to care what kind of kayak or canoe you're in. The fish don't care. Fish care what's under the water, what you're throwing. So don't think you need to go out and spend 2 or 3 grand on a kayak just starting out to get on fish. You don't need to do that. If you're just starting out, you want to see if you like it. Like I said, rent one, try to borrow one. If not, try something entry level. There's a lot of good kayaks that are based off more popular models that are entry level that you can start with. A great site to look at is check out Texas Kayak Fisherman. I'll put a link in the description. I have bought and sold most of my kayaks there over the years. Great site, tons of information, lots of good reports, and a great place to find used kayaks. So check that out if you're interested in looking for a used kayak. But like I said, the fish don't care. What it's going to come down to really with the kayak is your preference and your comfortability. So if you just want to try it out, try out an entry-level one, see if you like it. If you don't like it, that way you didn't spend too much money on one versus if you go out and buy a $2,000 kayak, rig it out, deck it out with all this stuff, you take it out, you're like, oh my gosh, this is scary, or oh my gosh, this isn't for me. So think about that too before you invest in one. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But with all of that said, kayak fishing is an absolute blast. I love it. I've been trying to do a lot more now, especially with Joe and a couple of new friends I've made. We've been trying to do some more, and I'm hoping to do a whole bunch more this year. I got some cool announcements coming up, things coming up, but it's awesome, man. It's a lot of fun. So if you haven't tried it, I definitely encourage you to try it. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Comment down below, ask me any questions you have. I don't have a lot of experience as far as like open water, so like open ocean fishing out of kayaks. But bayous, creeks, lakes, I've done all that in mine and others, and it's a lot of fun. You can catch a lot of fish, go to a lot of, you know, urban and sometimes secluded places, which I love. I love seclusion when I'm fishing, and just check out some really cool places and have a fun time, meet some cool anglers. Not to mention too, Joe and I are going to try to be hosting some more tournaments. We're going to probably do some bank fishing tournaments, but also the kayaks, canoes, small boats, so that's a good thing for you guys to get in on as well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Bass Talk. I just want to get one of these up. I've been slacking, and I've got some ideas for some more future episodes. If you guys have ideas for future episodes that you want to talk about, let me know in the description below, and we'll try to work something out, get you mentioned, get some of your ideas thrown in there, whatever, get some pictures in there, and yeah, we'll go from there. But anyway, as always, guys, thank you for the support, thank you for the likes, thank you for the comments. You know, a lot of the opportunities and people I've met and things that have come my way as far as fishing wouldn't be possible without the subscribers and the support I get from you guys out there, so I really appreciate that. So take care, tight lines, and thank you for watching. Bayou Bass King signing off.